Hey there YouTube, how's it going? It's Danny Silva with D Silva Designs, and I'm coming to you with an X-23 sketch cover. It's done on a Wolverines #1 blank variant comic book, and yeah, here we go. This one's not a commission, so you're going to get to see the blue line process. What I'm starting with here is a non-photo blue coal erase. They're made by Prismacolor pencil. And I'm just using that just to get the basic shapes in, circles and the shape of the arm and so on and so forth. After I get kind of a rough idea of what shapes I'm going to be using and how I want the body positioned, I'll go in with a light blue, just a slightly darker version of the coal erase pencil in blue, and I'll refine the details, just kind of blocking in those shapes a little bit better, adding a little bit more detail, adding the fingers and so on and so forth that I didn't really do in the previous process. Get the eyes in there. Yeah, typically with the non-photo blue, I might make circles for the eyes, tell myself where I want the nose and the mouth, but I don't really draw it in there. Same with the hand, I'll just draw a circle or a block. And then with this pencil, I'll go in and I'll further refine it just to get the shapes going. And from some reason here, I was having trouble with the claws. For some reason, the angle, I had to flip the book around. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'll keep doodling the shapes and things like that. And then for this particular drawing, I used another darker blue. It's not dark blue, it's just regular blue, coal erase, to further refine the shape so I could see it. Sometimes I'll go straight in and just, if I don't care too much about it, but with the blank covers I try to take a little bit more extra time, I guess, because I want them to look good. It's not like a random sketch on paper, so, and the blank covers, they cost money, so it would kind of suck if I screwed up, that's all. So I'll go in and I refine a little bit with the blue pencil, and now I'm going to go ahead and just kind of basically do my final sketch with regular 2B pencil. This is a 2mm lead holder that I'm using, and I don't really sharpen it down too much. It's kind of blunt at the tip because I don't want to dig it into the sketch cover paper. So I'll just go ahead and I'll refine everything and kind of do a final pass. That way when I go in with the inks, I can see it clearly. So I'm going in with, instead of using a brush pen, I like to use brush pens a lot. This time I'm deciding to just use the Copic multiliners. So I'm going in with my standard 0.3 and 0.5, and just depending on how fine of a space or how small of a space I need to get into determines which one I'll use. So go in and do my basic outline. And then now I'm going in with some more a thicker brush tip marker so I can do the heavier blacks. So I'm going to get the hair and the costume because there is a lot of black. And it would take forever. Even with a Pentel brush pen, it would still take a while and suck up a lot of ink. So I like to use a regular brush pen marker just to kind of fill in these areas, get it done quick. Get the finer details of the costume, the pants. Now I'm going ahead and erasing all my blue lines and my pencil lines, because if I am not careful, the Copic once I go over it with Copic markers, those will lock in those colors. So, and the final result, especially in the skin tone areas, you're going to end up seeing these blue lines. It'll be slight and probably only noticeable to me because I drew it, but you can still see it if you focus real hard. because those Copics, they lock in that any pencil marks or anything like that that was there if you don't erase them properly. So here I'm going in and doing the skin tones, and like I normally do, I have 3 different shades. Doesn't really matter as long as they're really close together or fairly close together on the color wheel, and that pretty much works with any Copics. As long as they're close together in the color wheel, use 3. For this, I started in with the dark tones for the skin, and then I went in with a mid-tone to kind of smooth that out, and then a very, very light tone just to kind of blend them all together and give it a nice fade to the highlights. So now I'm adding some pink to the nose and to the fingers, areas that tend to get more blood. And I went in with my traditional blue shading for the hair, just because her costume is black, and so I used gray, a little bit of gray to kind of add to that. So that the hair didn't really blend in with that gray, I decided to use blue. And then I'm obviously doing blood. Now I kind of screwed up. I shouldn't have done the blood first. Red, especially if the red is going to be going outside of the picture, I usually do that last, because that red, especially, I mean, with Copics, it bleeds a lot. So right here where I'm doing this outline and the basic background and kind of shading it, you'll notice that I stay away from that area, because if I touch it with the markers at all, the alcohol-based ink is going to make that red bleed, and it's going to turn into a mess, and it's hard to fix. Even going over it with white gel pen or anything like that, that red still bleeds through. So that's kind of a pain. Something that I've had to learn the hard way. And now I'm going in with the highlights, and just kind of adding some fine details to the hair and the costume. I'm using a regular gel pen for this. I use a jelly roller for the most part, and I have a Liquitex paint pen too for the larger areas. That's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.